Hello, my dear students! Welcome to our virtual class in Practical Research 1. The following are the different most essential learning competencies and specific learning objectives that you have to achieve at the end of the lesson.
After learning the different concepts about research and qualitative research, you are now ready to design your research project. In designing your qualitative research, the very first step is to choose a topic which will be useful in your daily life. There are many things to consider in choosing a topic. First, choose the one that interests you. You have to consider whether the topic that you have chosen is relevant to you as a learner, as a constituent in your barangay, and as a citizen of this country. Second, narrow down your topic. Then, break down the general subject into smaller chunks of topics that are related to it. Third, make sure you have enough resources for your topic. Fourth, check references from the library, whether it is in the internet, online sources, paper websites, and others. In addition to this, you also have to master the skill on finding the right research topic, because not all topics of interest to you are easy to write about, so make sure it has enough resource material. Therefore, the first question that you should answer is, what is the issue, phenomenon, or problem in my school and community that needs my special attention by conducting a research? In a school, for example, based on observation, you may ask this question. What are the issues and problems I encounter inside the classroom? Is it the lesson, teachers, learners' attitude, and hindrances to graduation? At home, you may also ask the question, considering my life on a daily basis, what are the things that bother me at home? In the community, perhaps, you may ask the question, what are the usual complaints of my neighbor regarding ordinances, practices, and activities in the barangay? Or what are the situations in my community that needs to be improved? These questions may help you start with your qualitative research. Qualitative research is an emergent design, which means that it emerges as you make ongoing decisions about what you have learned. As a design, qualitative research requires researchers' decision-making, like how to gather data, from where and whom to collect, when to gather, and for how long. Therefore, qualitative research experts say that there must be congruence between methods of data analysis and the research questions, and where the method of data collection turns out data that are appropriate to the method of analysis. To have a holistic picture of qualitative research project, you have to remember that in deciding on a topic, you have to consider the kind and the field it belongs, as well as its relevance to your daily life. Writing the research title is one of the challenges that you have to undergo in writing your research paper, since you have many considerations to make before arriving at your final research title. So what is a research title? A research title, also known as research project, is a product of real-world observations, dilemmas, wide reading, selective viewing, meaningful interactions with significant others, and deep reflection. A research title capsulizes the main thought or idea of the whole research paper. Specifically, it puts the research problem or inquiry in capsule form. It also reflects the variables under study. In formulating the research title, make sure that it must clearly reflect the topic of investigation, and it must be original, clear as to subject and scope, concise, it should be short yet well-defined, or specific or narrowed down. According to Maxine Hairstone and Michael King, a good title has several functions. First, it predicts content. Make sure that the research title indicates accurately the subject and scope of the study. Next, it catches the reader's interest. Use words that create a positive impression and stimulate readers' interest. Third, it reflects the tone or slant of the piece of writing. Through the use of proper words or current nomenclature, terms, jargons, or language from the field of study, it must reveal how the paper will be organized. Also, it must contain keywords that will make it easy to access a computer search. So what can help you decide in formulating your research title? The following parameters can be used to help you formulate a suitable research paper title. First, the purpose of the research. Next, the narrative tone of the paper, typically defined by the type of the research, and the methods used. You may also follow the following steps in writing a research title. Step 1. Answer the following questions. What is my paper about? What techniques or design will be used? Who and what will be studied? You have to decide on your topic. The title must also reflect the research design to be utilized as well as target participants. Step 2. Use your answers to list keywords. From your answer to this given question in Step 1, get the keywords for you to formulate your title. Step 3. Create a sentence that includes the keywords that you have listed. Step 4. Delete all unnecessary or repetitive words and link the remaining. And Step 5. Delete non-essential information and reword the title. Express the first keywords that you have formulated in sentence form. Then from that statement, delete the not-so-important words, leaving the main or key concepts. You may reword or rephrase it to make it an interesting and comprehensive title. Effective titles in academic research papers can have several characteristics. First, it must indicate accurately the subject and the scope of the study. Second, rarely use abbreviations or acronyms unless they are commonly known. Third, use words that create a positive impression and stimulate readers' interest. Fourth, use current nomenclature or words or languages from the field of study. Fifth, reveal how the paper will be organized. 6. Your title must be limited to only 2 to 15 words. 7th, it takes the form of a question or declarative statement. 8. If you use a quote as part of the title, the source of the quote is cited. 9th, use correct grammar and capitalization with all first words and last words capitalized, including the first words of a subtitle. And rarely use an exclamation point at the end of the title. Aside from having the main title of the research paper, you may also include a subtitle. A subtitle is quite common in social science research papers. Here are some of the reasons why you may include a subtitle. First, it explains or provides additional context. The subtitle furtherly explains the scope or focus of the study. Next, it adds substance to a literary, provocative, and imaginative title or quote. It gives further description to add an artistic or interesting hook to your readers. Third, it qualifies the geographic scope of the research, and it qualifies the temporal scope of the research. Meaning, the subtitle gives a more specific description as to the scope and coverage of the study. Next, it focuses on investigating the ideas, theories, or work of a particular individual. Through the use of subtitle, it specifies the type of research as well as the participants of the study. And lastly, it identifies the methodology used, or it clearly classifies the methodology or design to be used in your research study. The following are the sample research titles in declarative or statement form. These are the sample research titles in interrogative or question form. Also, the following are the different sample research titles with subtitles. Before writing your research title, Make sure that you have already chosen a topic. The following are the different guidelines in choosing a topic. First is the interest in the subject matter. Make sure that you are interested about the topic because you have experienced or observed it. Next is the availability of information. It is important that when you decide on a topic, sources of information are available. Third is timeliness and relevance of the topic. The topic that you have chosen should be significant to the community. Fourth, limitations on the subject. Sometimes, topic is limited to what the teacher suggests. And lastly is the personal resources. Consider also if you can finish the research in terms of your intellectual, financial, and physical capabilities. In choosing your topic, you have to avoid the following. First, avoid controversial or highly opinionated topics. Next, avoid highly technical subjects. Too technical topics require expertise. If you don't have enough knowledge about it, then look for another one. Third, avoid hard to investigate subjects. Unavailability of reading materials and materials that are not updated make the subject hard to investigate. Next, avoid too broad subjects. You lack focus if you deal with broad topics. That's why you have to narrow it down to make it more specific. Also, too narrow subjects should also be avoided. Some subjects are too narrow that extensive and thorough reading are required. Next, you also have to avoid vague subjects. Titles that start with indefinite adjectives such as several, many, some, and others make the topic vague. If you are having a hard time choosing a topic, you may use the following sources of research topics just like mass media communication, books, internet, journals, and government publications, professional periodicals, general periodicals, previous readings, and work experience. Please take time to read the following table in which it presents the possible area of research just like social problems, wide reading or critical film viewing, social networking, replication of research or thesis and dissertations, and gray areas or points of interest but very little is known about them, about issues, phenomena, and others, as well as the sources where it can be found, and the topic that could be developed from these sources. One of the qualities of a research title is it must be something that is specific. That's why, before arriving at your research title, you have first to narrow down your topic. First, you can narrow down the topic by exploring and extending the explanations of a theory. Next, talk over ideas with people who know research. Third, you may also focus on a specific group, just like students, mothers, teachers, and others. You may also define the aim or desired outcome of the study, or you also have to identify if your study is exploratory, explanatory, or descriptive, and identify if your study is applied or basic. The following is an example of a broad topic which could be narrowed down to a specific one. For instance, if the general concept is all about early pregnancy, it can be narrowed down as follows. It can be all about early pregnancy among senior high school students, or it can be all about prevention of early pregnancy among senior high school students. The following are more examples of broad topics and specific topics. You may also gain ideas from the following research titles. Once you have finalized your research title, You may start preparing the background or introduction of your research study. So what is all about the background of the study? The background study for a research includes a review of the area being researched, current information surrounding the issue, previous studies on the issue, and relevant history on the issue. The purpose of a background study is to help you prove the relevance of your research question and to further develop your research. Therefore, the background of the study serves as the rationale or the explanation on the reason why you are conducting the research study. It must be based on existing facts, explanations, or evidences that will clarify the relevance of your research. The following are the ways on how to describe the background of research. First, describe the field that you will be researching. Second, tell why this field is important. Third, describe the current and relevant hot topics in the field. Fourth, describe the specific area you will be researching in the field. In the background of your study, you must provide adequate information or description of your research problem, the existing and relevant issues about it, and the specific focus of the research to be conducted. Fifth, tell how your research will add to the field. You may explain why your work is important, that it addresses any unanswered question in this field. Sixth, describe your research as answers to research questions that you have assigned to research. In the background of the study, you must also explain on why the conduct of your study will be relevant or worth conducting as a research study, and how it will be a way in solving a problem or explaining an existing phenomena. Seventh, summarize the current research based in your specific area of interest and highlight any gaps in the research that you plan to address with your research. You may state in the background of the study a general statement as to what specific topic or area of interest you will cover, as well as the limitations it may have as far as addressing the problem of your research is concerned. Our next topic is all about justifications or reasons for conducting qualitative research. Simply stated, conducting qualitative research is justified because it can help solve or shed light on problems or issues encountered day-to-day by individuals, organizations, communities, industries, and business, among others. The intent or purpose of the study shows succinctly the need or the reason why the qualitative research is being conducted for on an individual or societal level. It may be stated just like what is given on the examples on the next slide. Please take note that a good justification or purpose statement must be expressed in single sentence, include the purpose of the study, include the central phenomenon, use qualitative words, note the participants, and state the research site. The following is an example on how you could state your good purpose statement. Please read it silently. There are different factors that justify the conduct of a qualitative research. The first one is credibility. It refers to the truth value of the qualitative study, which tells something about its applicability, consistency, and neutrality. It is all about the quality of being accepted as true, real, or honest. The next factor is validity. It refers to an in-depth description that shows the complexities of variables and the embedding of interactions in data derived from the setting. It's all about rationality, soundness of data, being fair, reasonable, and logical. The next factor is transferability. It is the applicability of one set of findings to another context. It means that it can be transformed or changed through the use of triangulation approach. The next factor is dependability. It refers to the researcher's attempts to account for changing conditions in the phenomenon chosen for study, as well as in the design created by increasing refined understanding of the setting. The last factor is conformability. It answers the question, do the data help confirm the general findings and lead to the implications? It means that it is amiable or corresponding or consistent in form or character.
That's all about our lesson for this week in Practical Research 1. Thank you for watching and see you again next week.